From the NewsChannel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper, this is Out and About Today.
Welcome to Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. We have a special show for you tonight as we take a look back at all things 2017, or most things. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Brent and Chuck, and our special guest here tonight is James Grady, Managing Editor of Out and About Nashville. Well, guys, welcome. Can you believe that bleep in 2017 is almost in the rearview mirror?
Looking back already.
We were just looking ahead to 2017.
I know.
Ugh.
And, you know, Brent, you and I sat down to make a list of things we should talk about or mention, and we said politics. Let's start with politics, and we both took a sigh and said,
I think almost at the same time.
Trump. Because we have to start there. So the first segment of this show is going to deal in politics. And I want everybody to take a look back, and we'll start with Chuck, and give me your biggest story as it affects our community with Trump, or the one that really got you going.
Well, the one, I guess, to me, it's hard to specify which one it was because it's such a big picture. But I will say that what I think got our community going was the fact that we thought there might be possibly a little glimmer that he would help the LGBT community in a way that other Republicans couldn't. And day by day, every day, showed something more that he wasn't going to help and that he basically just hoodwinked us. And the inauguration was just, it was so depressing to see that and already feel at the beginning of the year that this is what's going to move forth. And even when we had the shots, you know, of his inauguration compared to Obama's, and you see the picture right there, and they were basically saying, you know, the photo's been doctored. I mean, they started lying from day one, right out of the gate. And that's when I thought, we're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble.
How did you feel, James, at that inauguration, January 2017? What were you thinking?
I have to say, to begin with, it was one of the first that I've not watched in a long time. But I think it sets the tone. I mean, you know, pathological liars.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were talking at that time, maybe in hope of how long will it take for him to get impeached? Do you remember those conversations?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't remember, though, Chuck, I don't remember being hopeful when he was elected.
Well, but there was when he was running, he was the first Republican candidate to even use LGBT in a speech.
Right.
And there's that picture of him with the flag that's been used over and over again.
Yeah.
And like you said, there was like, well, maybe.
And I'm not saying that I was happy at all in the fact that he was in there. I was just thinking maybe he'll surprise us. I mean, I thought, well, we'll at least see. Well, you know, I had 99% doubt. But
it didn't help when the next thing was we were erased from the website, the WhiteHouse.gov website.
That was I mean, you knew then because it's like, okay, we're not even on the radar. We've been removed from the radar.
Search LGBT on WhiteHouse.gov and you get that.
Yeah, it's gone.
Right.
Completely.
I can't remember a time where I've just felt down about our president, you know, in so long. Just no wins, no acknowledgments.
Well, even with Bush, you might feel down, but he made you laugh. I mean, you know, he threw up on the Chinese president. He got a shoe thrown at him. You know, like anyway, I'm sorry.
Brent.
That just.
Brent, you went there. No. Okay, James, you tell us looking back at the Trump first 2017, what sticks with you?
I think for a lot of reasons, the low point for me, as far as the Twitterverse, is the tweeting out about the trans military ban.
Right.
I think that the idea that you would announce major policy like that without conferring by Twitter to the world is indicative of bad judgment and definitely, again, it's indicative of the tone. And I think the only good thing to come out of the situation is to see the resistance by the military itself to implementing the policy. You see that, you know, people who are traditionally a bastion of conservative ideology have actually been standing pretty firmly against the president on this. You see Republicans coming out against it. So that's the little bit of hope that I get from Trump, is that he can do things so heinous that even people that we traditionally don't think of as our allies become them.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we talked about that on the show, of course, and we get all rallied up, but he does it perhaps to rally.
He does, because not to jump in, but to his point, I mean, I think it was just fairly recently there was an approval by the Department of Justice, or the Department of Defense. They paid for a surgery fairly recently. So I mean, it came full circle. He didn't get his way, but it just, I mean, what's the point then? You know, if not to stir controversy.
Right.
I don't think it's to stir controversy. Personally, I don't give him that much credit.
That is true. We're giving him more credit than he probably deserves.
I don't know what I think. So, Brent, what is your looking back Trump story that you want to share?
Well, one of the things I said in the very beginning was what scared me most about Trump was Trump, but also all the people underneath him. Like, who is he going to appoint? And I think we have more than seen run the gamut. I mean, beginning with Jeff Sessions. I mean, come on. I mean, there's a picture. Look at him right there. I mean, look at that. Come on. Like, he
Kate
wasn't.
McKinnon so nails him. I'm just going to say that's
Yes.
one of the high points of Saturday Night Live every week.
Yes. Her depiction of him was
Yeah.
almost worth him being here. But then recently, all the cramming through of these judges, some of whom are grossly unqualified, his cabinet, two of whom have already had to resign, and then there's just a constant stream of these of people underneath him that are just almost far worse than him. He's just kind of the blowhard in the room, and they're kind of off, picking at things out of sight.
I think even worse for me is that he's managed to disgrace people that might have been good people at one time, like John Kelly.
Good point.
Putting him in front of a camera and having him say these outrageous and outlandish things shows what little moral fiber General Kelly has.
Taking advantage of Kelly's maybe and others like him, sort of, I guess, respect for the office and using it against him.
And using up what little respectability they have left for his own interests.
Yes.
So I have a question for you, and I'll start with James because you said something before we got on air. So we think we've had a hard year with Trump in 2017. What do you think about 2018 with Trump?
I think 2018 picks up where 2017 left off, and the downhill slide continues as far as it can go. I have no hope for 2018.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, we're going to be forced to talk about something positive after this break.
Yes, we are.
We're going to talk about local events and local people. Because did you want to end anything with Trump, or we're going to end?
No. Let's leave him alone.
Okay, good. We will continue our review of 2017 right after the short break. Stay with us.